It's a different ball game right now. It is a different ball game right now.
So if you have a property that's distressed or potentially distressed, I'm not saying haunted.
Right.
Right? Because if it's haunted, somebody asks you have to put it in writing, I think.
You do. If they ask. They have to ask first.
They have to ask. Is it in writing?
They have to ask.
Okay.
And it's got to be in writing.
Got it. Okay. You're going to sell it, right? The ghost is going to come with that property.
That's it.
Tim Bray here, Kim Casey.
Hey, guys.
I don't know who the guys are. There's only one person watching.
How do you know that?
I know. I have this feeling.
He's wrong.
Yeah? You're looking at that camera. I'm looking at this camera.
I know. I got like 10 people over here.
So here's the big thing. And I know we threw some people when we put this out here on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
We promised them that we'd give them 5 reasons why now is not a good time to sell your property.
We did. I actually showed a property and I saw an agent there that mentioned seeing that post, and she's super curious to learn more. So I think she's going to be listening to this podcast. It may be one of my 10 people over there, or this video. Yeah, she's watching right now.
That's the one person, I think. So when we threw that out there, I actually thought that it was a fairly big challenge myself.
Right.
But there are some pretty darn good reasons. Can you give me at least one?
Well, I can. We're in the middle of a pandemic, Tim.
Oh. Are we 6 feet apart?
We are actually 6 feet apart. So we are COVID compliant, but that is a concern for some people. So that could be a reason not to sell.
I think that's extremely reasonable. I think that one makes a whole lot of sense. Is there a number 2?
There is. So, well, we have low inventory, as everybody knows, right? So if you're going to sell your house, do you have anywhere to go? Is that in the plan? So
you don't have any place to move to.
Yeah. What's going to happen? You sell the house, you get a great number for it, right?
Where do you go?
Where do you go?
Well, maybe you're moving in with a family member.
That could work out very well. Maybe you're downsizing.
Or a good friend.
Yeah, or a good friend.
You don't even need to tell
Couch surf?
If you have a big family, that could be tough. Unless they have a couple of couches.
They could.
So anyway, that's a great one as well. Number 3.
Yeah. So what if you just purchased that property recently, and let's say you're over leveraged on that property right now?
Leverage.
How is that leverage, right? How is that going to impact you? We do, but negative. Not negative.
I like that one. So does that pertain to maybe a home equity line of credit? Because I know a lot of people are seeing that the values of their properties have gone up very quickly and justified.
Right.
In regard to there are cash sales out there that are justifying those numbers being high. Why not pull the cash out?
Right.
Invest it somewhere else.
Reinvest it somewhere else. Makes sense. Well, what about this? Some people, Tim, they get really emotionally attached to their home. Maybe they built that home and, they put their heart into it. And for them, this is their castle. And it's hard to find that, that home that is not theirs. Their emotions are in it.
So why sell that property that you've based your entire life around and it makes you happy?
Right.
I can't complain with that. I like that one a lot. I think that one pertains to a lot of people out there.
I think so. If it makes you happy and it makes sense.
So Kim, we've got 4.
Yeah.
What about the 5th?
Well, I think the 5th is what? There are no 5th. It's a great time to sell, Tim.
I would love to hear if somebody else has a number 5 that's out there.
I would too. Comment below, guys, if you can think of any other reason why now is not a great time to sell. We would really love to hear what you have to say. So put a comment below and let us know, why is it not a good time to sell?
What a struggle. I sat here for at least 20 minutes trying to think of a number 5. Couldn't do it. Tossed it over to Montes, and Montes sat here and he basically came up with the 3 of these and then left with number 5. And I think your number 5 is actually the best one. Now is a great time to sell. Yeah, it is. Well, let's move right into that. Why don't we talk about why it is a great time to sell, Tim? My number 1 is that we're approaching a 20-year high as far as real estate valuations. I'll really quick go into it. I touched on it before, but we're seeing multiple offer situations, which you're seeing all the time. Yeah. And if you're going to win that multiple offer situation, oftentimes they're with few contingencies, and that cash offer wins most of the time. Cash offer doesn't have a mortgage contingency, which means there's no appraisal. Mm-hmm. So if it appraised, so now what you've got is you've got these properties that have sold, they've outbid other people that are bidding on the properties, and they've created a sales comparable. that is the market, right?
That is.
Great time to sell.
So it's a great time to sell. We're setting a new market right now, it seems like, within this.
Give me another one.
Well, we're at the peak of that cycle, right? So what happens when you're at the very peak of a cycle and you buy, that's one thing. But if you're at the very peak and you sell, tell me what's going to happen.
So if you're at the peak and you sell, it's great because you just captured all of that cash. It's kind of like an ATM.
You're capitalizing on all that financial gain you can get, right?
Absolutely. And what typically happens after you reach the peak? What do you have to do?
You're going to have to downsize, Tim.
You have to come down, right?
You're going to have to come down.
You have to come down. But actually you just hit on another one. That's one of the better ones.
That is one, actually, that is going to be something that is a great time to sell, because
Why?
What if you do need to downsize? What if you do need to move into something smaller, and right now is the best time to capitalize and get that big financial gain on your big home, right? You're going to have more of an impact on that one, and you're downsizing into your smaller.
The math makes sense.
It makes sense. If the numbers work, the numbers work.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
What's another one?
Let's see. Did we talk about the sellers being in control because of there being no market?
So it's interesting though. You'll get these. If I were to go out there and ask 10 agents, and I love agents, I just do. But if I were to ask 10 agent how the market is, it's typically market's great.
Market's great. What market?
Well, it's a seller's market, right? The sellers are in control. It still depends on the price range. So if you break it up into $50,000 increments and you ask somebody, hey, where is it a good time to sell? What are your months of inventory? It depends.
Right.
Depends on your location, depends on your price range.
How many buyers are looking in that area? There's a lot of variables that are involved in that.
You know what's crazy right now? In looking at our migration study, I was looking at properties over $2 million, and I've never seen this many properties over $2 million selling in the history that I've been in this region.
Isn't it amazing? Those properties, they typically sit on the market, for over 1,000 days before they get movement. And now we're seeing...
3 agents too, by the way.
3 agents too. They have to go through the process usually more than once. It's true. But we are seeing movement on those properties. So that may be another good reason to tie in why is it a great time to sell. What about those stagnant properties that have been sitting there? Maybe they haven't sold in the past. Maybe they are those higher end properties where we haven't seen movement. We're seeing the movement right now. So
in the past, you and I, we've liked to have been the third, fourth agent in.
Love it.
We let somebody else take them through the process. Unfortunately, they've reduced the price down to where we believe it should sell.
Right.
I want to be the first one this time. Call us up.
That's it.
We're ready. We're ready to help you.
It's strike zone.
It is.
It is.
So I think we just hit that properties are selling very fast and for top dollar, and that low inventory attracts buyers for hard to sell properties. That's the big one that I really want to discuss. In my opinion, what I'm seeing happening out there with inventory extremely low, with interest rates low, with this demand from people that are coming in from everywhere, they're leaving too, but that's in our migration study, and we can talk about that.
That's another video.
That is another video, but typically I'm looking at these homes, I'm digging in and saying, okay, which homes are selling? So let's say you had a home listed previously and maybe it was functionally obsolescent. Maybe it was next to a racetrack, next to a nuclear power plant, a high trafficked road. It had a floor plan that just didn't work and it didn't sell. And you reduce the price and you reduce the price, and all of a sudden there's no inventory. You put it on the market right now and you've got bidding wars.
It's a different ballgame right now. It is a different ballgame right now.
So if you have a property that's distressed or potentially distressed, I'm not saying haunted.
Right.
Because if it's haunted, somebody asks you have to put it in writing, I think.
You do. If they ask, they have to ask first.
They have to ask. Is it in writing?
They have to ask.
Okay.
And it's got to be in writing.
Got it. Okay. You're going to sell it. Right? The ghost is going to come with that property.
That's it.
And people
hopefully a happy ghost.
That's hopefully. And they're going to bid. They're going to overpay for that property as well.
That's true.
Most of the time. So let's recap this thing.
Okay.
Is it a good time to sell?
I think it's a really great time to sell.
So take some advice from us. If you're thinking about selling, give us a call.
Definitely. Give us a call. We're here to guide you guys. We're here to be a consultant and just make sure you're making the best financial decision possible in your real estate moves.
Thanks, guys. That one person that's watching me, peace. Thank you.
My 10 people. See you next time.